What makes a man more than just an athlete? What turns a simple game into a global stage where billions watch, where sneakers become sacred relics, and where a single leap rewrites the laws of physics? For Michael Jordan, it wasn't enough to play basketball. He had to dominate it, redefine it, and in the process, become something bigger than sport itself. His story isn't just about points and trophies. It's about obsession, rivalries, rumors, risks, and the kind of fire that either destroys men or turns them into legends. But Jordan's journey to global immortality didn't begin under the bright lights of the NBA Finals. It started quietly, with a skinny teenager who wasn't even considered good enough for his varsity team. And what happened next would shock everyone. Long before the dunks and the billions, there was a kid from Wilmington, North Carolina with a chip on his shoulder. When Michael was cut from his high school varsity squad, most kids would have sulked, maybe quit. Jordan took it as gasoline on a fire. He practiced every day, obsessively, until he earned his spot. That relentless drive carried him to the University of North Carolina. As just a freshman in 1982, Jordan wasn't supposed to be the star. The spotlight belonged to upperclassmen. But when the national championship game was on the line against Georgetown, it was the quiet freshman who took the ball. With 15 seconds left, Jordan rose up and nailed the jumper that sealed the title. That single shot wasn't just a basket, it was a warning to the world. A star was born. And if college basketball had just witnessed a glimpse of greatness, the NBA was about to feel the full storm. When Jordan entered the NBA in 1984, he wasn't just good, he was electric. From the moment he stepped onto the court, every game became a spectacle. Opposing arenas sold out just to watch him play. His rookie season numbers were outrageous. 28 points per game, Rookie of the Year, highlight after highlight. But not everyone was thrilled. Veterans thought he was too flashy, too bold, too unwilling to know his place. And the league's toughest bullies, the Detroit Pistons, made him their mission. They invented something called the Jordan Rules. It wasn't just defense, it was war. Every time he drove to the basket, they hammered him, shoved him, sent him crashing to the floor. Most players would have broken. Jordan didn't. He rebuilt his body, added muscle, and came back stronger. But his transformation wasn't just physical. Something darker was brewing. Something that would spill over into every part of his life. Jordan wasn't only rewriting the game on the court, he was rewriting culture. When Nike took a chance on him in 1984, no one could have predicted what would happen. Air Jordans weren't just sneakers, they were rebellion. The NBA even banned the black and red shoes because they didn't fit uniform codes. But every fine the league handed out only made the sneakers more legendary. Suddenly, basketball wasn't just a sport, it was fashion, music, street culture. Kids wanted to be like Mike, not just for his jump shot, but for his swagger. He had become more than a player. He was an icon. But behind the image of perfection, cracks were forming. Jordan's obsession with winning didn't stop when the buzzer sounded. His competitive fire spilled into everything: golf, cards, even late-night gambling sessions. Rumors swirled, whispers grew louder, and soon the world would start asking uncomfortable questions. Jordan's hunger to win was bottomless. He'd bet teammates thousands on simple card games. He once wrote a check for $5 to settle a pool bet in college, a piece of paper that later sold for thousands because it carried his name. To him, it wasn't about money, it was about pride. He couldn't stand to lose at anything. But the whispers got darker. Stories surfaced of Jordan being spotted in casinos, deep into the night, even during playoff runs. Some critics claimed his first retirement in 1993 wasn't just about burnout, but pressure from the league to step away after his gambling habits drew too much heat. Jordan never admitted to any of it. Officially, his retirement was about exhaustion and honoring his late father. But fans couldn't stop wondering, did gambling almost derail the greatest career of all time? Controversy or not, Jordan's dominance on the court was undeniable. After surviving the Pistons' brutality, he finally broke through in 1991, capturing his first NBA championship. Then came another, then another, a three-peat that cemented his place in history. The finals became his personal stage. Shrugging after draining three-pointers, hitting impossible clutch shots, flying through the air with that tongue wagging, it wasn't just winning, it was theater, and the world couldn't look away. But at the height of his power, tragedy struck. His father, James Jordan, was murdered in 1993. Crushed with grief, Micheal stunned the world. He walked away. No one could believe it. The greatest basketball player alive quit in his prime to chase baseball, a sport he hadn't played since high school. Critics laughed. Some mocked him. But to Jordan, it was about honoring his father's dream. The experiment didn't go well. His baseball stats were average at best. But what people didn't see was the grind. Jordan woke up before dawn for batting practice, took endless swings, trained like a man possessed. He wasn't a joke, he was a workaholic trying to master a new craft. Still, the world was restless. Basketball wasn't the same without him. And when rumors began swirling about his return, fans held their breath. Then, 2 words dropped into history: "I'm back." In 1995, Jordan returned to the Bulls. At first, he looked rusty, but it didn't last long. By 1996, he had led Chicago to a record 72 wins and another championship. Then came another, and another three-peat. 6 championships in total, 6 finals MVPs, 10 scoring titles, defensive honors. Game winners that silenced arenas and broke opponents' hearts. Opponents weren't just beaten, they were broken. Magic Johnson, after losing to Jordan's Bulls in the finals, famously said, "There's a new sheriff in town." And he was right. But as Jordan conquered the world, something else was happening. His fame was exploding beyond anything sports had ever seen. By the late 19s, Jordan wasn't just the best player. He was the most famous human on the planet. His face was everywhere: ads, posters, commercials, shoes. He had become the standard for greatness, the measuring stick for every athlete after him. And the money followed. Billion-dollar sneaker empire, ownership stakes, a legacy so massive, it turned him into the world's first athlete billionaire. Even after his final retirement, Jordan wasn't done shaping culture. The documentary The Last Dance pulled back the curtain, revealing not just the glory, but the tension, the conflicts, the obsession. It showed the world the price of greatness and reminded everyone why his name still commands awe decades later.